my God, I'll tell you, coming into Patong Beach is a stressful occupation nowadays. Even finding somewhere to park a motorbike is almost beyond belief. But anyway, I'm here. I've got Noi in town, by the way. I'll explain that a bit later, but I've got a slight window this afternoon where she's out with her nephew, who's also staying with us all the way from sunny Germany. That's Tom. And so they're out together. And so I've got a couple of hours window to come into town here and have a beer at my favourite bar. We're going out to Hotel Buffet tonight. I've been there before. It's really, really good. But I've got to be back in the house by 5 o'clock, sort of ready to leave, you know. So it gives me a couple of hours down here. R&R. So let's just turn this round. You can see ahead of you, if you can see the M sign about half a mile down the road. That's where I'm going. That's where Molly's is. So that's where we're moving. And anyway, back in the madhouse again, the cauldron. How I long for the COVID days to be back again. Anyway, I sound like a broken record. You've heard it all before. I know. Got the cheap lens on again today, but it's stabilized. And again, I still haven't rigged up my gimbal, so I'm too bloody lazy. So most of what I end up shooting on a day like this is just a tripod on the bar anyway. So I want to try to minimalize this walking around, holding the camera, vlogging stuff as much as I can, because it makes my arms ache and it makes you feel slightly queasy, I'm sure. So here we are. We're here. Molly's. I can only just record the walk up to it because I've got this bloody neutral density filter on, so there won't be any light in here. Well, here we are. Welcome back. So Noi is here, and I met her at the airport yesterday afternoon. The flight was, pardon me, a couple of hours late, so bit of a drag really, but anyway, we're now in the process of getting used to each other again. Knock on wood, it's going reasonably well. Oh, very well actually. She wasn't away for so long this time. It's only about 9 months, you know, but people change in 9 weeks, let alone 9 months. So we've known each other for so long and we're relatively mature now. Anyway, we went out and had some Thai food last night. That was okay. Tonight we're going to a hotel we've been to a couple of times before down here in Patong Beach, where they have this monster buffet and it's really, really good. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And I'm not having to drive. Tom, who's also with us, he'll be doing the driving. So I'm quite looking forward to that. A quick request to the people that I actually do know. If ever you're contemplating coming out here to visit me, whether it's here in my current location or back in the USA. Yeah, I'd love to see you. Feel free. If you want to bring me a present, please bring me a bottle of Stone's ginger wine. I can't get it anywhere. And I love my whiskey mac at Christmas, and whiskey and ginger ale just doesn't cut it for me. The richness and sweetness and syrupiness of a whiskey mac just cannot be, it's like having suet dumplings in your beef stew. Nothing can come close to it. So there's a friendly request. Stone's ginger wine, please. Thank you. Well, so far I'm battling through with this dodgy wireless mic. Stop. Wait a minute. Let me introduce myself, or ourselves. We are the... who are we? We are the Senility Police. What we're doing here right now is checking people's videos and looking for signs of them being a doddery old bastard. And you certainly are starting to fall into that category, because what we've noticed is you keep saying the same things over and over again. Now, one thing that you might want to take note of, this is about the third or the fourth video in a row now where you've started blethering on about having problems with your wireless mic and replacing it with some other version of a wireless mic whose name you've forgotten. Well, that's got to stop. So if you don't stop doing this, we're going to have to take you down. I have to, again, I left it overnight in my house, and it refused, the receiver refused to start up this morning, even though the battery wasn't flat, just wouldn't start. So I had to put it on charge for a while before risking taking it out. But anyway, I got it down here, and it's showing a good charge now. And once it's going, it holds its charge, and it will, I think it will run the full 5 or 6 hours that it's supposed to. But if I switch it off and leave it for overnight, let's say, it refuses to start up in the morning. So it's definitely dodgy. Anyway, I'm going to replace the this old single channel Rode system that I've been very happy with a dual channel system from another manufacturer whose name I've forgotten right now, but I'll just pop it up there. So it's supposed to be better as well, but anyway, that's got to wait till Mai goes home, because my expenditure has got to be centered or directed towards her while she's here. So anyway, that's that one. Well, we're currently, I am currently tiptoeing my way through a really scary situation at home right now, because I had a tremendous stroke of fortune at the beginning, right at the very beginning of the week. Now, you may have heard my horror story of being stuck with all these bloody dogs in my house. I'd like just to say right now that I hate dogs. I just don't like them. I could go into it, but all the different reasons, but that's for something else. But it all started off when I relented 10 years or so ago and decided to adopt a really lovely little, her name was Pepsi. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the breed now, but such a cute little dog. even I liked her, and I brought her home, and from Isan all the way down to Patong, and a few weeks later went off back to work again. Next thing you know, I'd heard that they'd left the gate unsecured, and some stinking soy dog had broken into the house and screwed my my dog and made it pregnant, and in due course out popped 3 monsters that I was now stuck with in the house. Now if it would have been back in my childhood with my parents, those newborn puppies would have gone straight into a bucket of water, and that would have been the end of it, the end of all that grief. But no, tired people aren't like that, and so they bought them up, and sooner or later the hierarchy was established, because these 3 puppies were all females, but they all turned out to be much bigger than Pepsi, and one of them established dominance over the other. But they all had different characters. One of them I actually quite liked, Ugly. I actually quite liked Ugly, but anyway. After a while, establishing this dominance, when I wasn't there, Pepsi was attacked and one of her eyes was ripped out, so they had to rush her off to hospital and tidy her up and sew her eye socket up again and take her back home, and sometime after that she was attacked again and killed. And so that was kind of 4 dogs, and Tom, the aforementioned nephew of Noi, was living in our house at the time, and he was given a little Chihuahua that I think had just had a puppy. So there was a Chihuahua and a puppy, and he was given this. So that was that 4. So that's 6 dogs, and I hate fucking dogs. No one. I mean, I bought the house and I pay all the bills, but it's typical Thai. No one thought to ask me if it was all right. So I just sucked it up, and there we were. And pretty soon afterwards, thankfully, the mother Chihuahua, which was much smaller than the puppy for some reason or other, that was killed by the offspring of the devil as well. So we're back to 4. So when I came, I moved back here full time about 3 years ago. So I hate these. By this time, I hate these bloody dogs, especially the 3 offspring of the devil from my Pepsi. I loathe them with a passion. But unfortunately, that kind of spilled over into the Chihuahua as well, and because least of all, I hate yapping little rat dogs. But then Noi went to Sweden, and Tom went off to Germany, and just the typical what Thai people do, they abandon their loved ones, they abandon their dogs, and they abandoned me, and I was stuck with them. So if they're living in my house and I hate them, they're going to have a very, very hard time, because I have absolutely no finer feelings towards things like this at all. It's the way I was brought up by my mother. We once
had to go on holiday, and we had a budgie. I'm not saying it was my budgie, but we had a budgie and no one would look after it, so she put it into a shopping bag and ran a gas pipe into the shopping bag and gassed it in front of me so that we could go on holiday. And I remember her pulling the body of the budgie out of the shopping bag, and anyway, that's the way I was brought up. So don't blame me if I don't have any tender feelings. So over the years, over the last 3 years, I managed to dispatch 2 of these dogs. So that just left the ringleader that killed Pepsi. And as it got older, it gradually went blind, then it went deaf, and now I almost feel sorry for it, you know.
So let's take a look at what I have left here, shall we? And as we approach the end of our story, not quite, but this is the only one that's left. This was the top dog. This was the thing that killed my Pepsi and killed Gucci, the little Chihuahua. And now, at the end of its life, it's busted up, it's suffering from mange, it's blind, it's deaf. Rather a pitiable sight, but I don't have any pity. I don't have any pity. Now there's only one. There's only one dog left. And hopefully it won't be here for much longer. Although people have been assuring me that it's going to die soon for 5 years and it's still here. These 3 dogs were immensely strong. Immensely strong. But this one has got to be coming to the end of its road. I hope so. But I still had Coochie, the little Chihuahua, that just purely as a knee-jerk gut reaction I also disliked. It hated me and I hated it. It was terrified of me anyway. But in a fit of terror, because of fireworks going off a few days ago, it managed to break out of the house, and it learned a lesson because it managed to do it again the next night. It broke out of the house and it went down the road to the same house for shelter, and it's a nice family, and they took it in, and they had a small daughter that got really fond of this little dog, and every day they had to bring it back again, and it was obvious to them that the dog hated me and I didn't want it there. So in the end, I think with the persuasion of Noi's friend Char, they didn't bring it back anymore, and they decided that they would keep it. Great, fantastic. The dog's got a good home and I'm free of it. Nothing could be better. And now Noi and Tom, who's officially the owner of the dog, have come back. So I'm thinking, oh Christ, what are they going to do? Are they going to go down there and rescue this dog and bring it back home? I've been on tenterhooks this last day and a half, kind of waiting for it, and so far, knock on wood, the signs are positive. I think they realise that it's now in a good home, and that's where it should stay. So I don't think they would be that stupid to yank the dog out of a new loving home where it's loved, and just for their own short-term
their own short-term comfort, bring it back to our house where it's got to face me, who hates it. So anyway, I make no apologies. I'll keep you posted. So far, it hasn't reappeared, and this morning as I was driving out to go on my exercise, I saw the little dog out in the front garden of its new house, and it was out there, it was smiling, and it had a nice red ribbon tied around its neck, and it looked really happy. So they shouldn't disrupt that. And so I got my fingers crossed. I mean, maybe if we survive today, we'll be okay. I just don't want that dog to reappear. Oh no. Oh wow. It's 2:45. I'm really that wrong as far as time is concerned. So anyway, it's about time to leave. Gives me like a couple of hours to my deadline, sort myself out. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed our little chat, and see you again next time. Cheerio.